Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my overall. This was a very, very good season. Much better than season 4. Um, we're going to get into this episode. I just want to point out that Neo was not in this episode, which means she was not in this season, which kind of disappoints me because it was stated that she was going to be in this season. They stated she was alive, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, she'll be in the next season. I said in the stream also that Atlas is where Weiss was. That's not true. It's where the military is, so it kind of means that Winter might be appearing, and we'll get into that very, very shortly. In this review. So let's get to this. So the episode starts off with outside of the Haven Academy, you have everyone surrounding Adam. You have Blake and Sun confronting him. That she says, "You're not here for you. I'm here for Haven Academy," and you know, she's you know, right on it. And you also have Ilya, taking down one of the White Fang guards or person or whatever with an arm bar. And then you see, one of the other Faunuses, and to give you a thank you or whatever. So there's that. Ilya does not die. A lot of people thought she was gonna die, and redemption type villain turned hero. That didn't happen. She's alive, and she likes Blake, so I don't think that's gonna be happening. So we'll see what happens with Ilya going forward. But you have Sun and Blake. They kind of are like, right up on each other. Kind of a cool little moment there. But when Sun leaves, or not Sun, when Adam tries to run off, Blake, tells him, "Don't go there. That's just what he wants you to do to corner us." So Adam does get away. We don't know what exactly Adam's going to do in the next season, but that's really the end of Adam for right now. And it's kind of how the that scene ends. It was a good setup, opening scene, kind of clears up everything there. After which we have the scene that I guess everyone really, to a certain extent, was waiting for, and that was the confrontation between Raven and her daughter, Yang, aka the best character in RWBY, Yang. So they talk, and I said it, and I was right, half right on this, and but majority of it being right. That there's no way that Raven inherited there was always the Spring Maiden all along. A lot of people said that, theorized that she was, the Maiden, that this was a top secret thing, that not even Crow knew about it. I said before, there's no way that if she was born as the Spring Maiden, that she would have been able to keep it from Crow. There's no way that, she would have had it all along and no one would have known. Crow's was raised with ravens. He would have known. There was just no way that was going to happen, and this kind of cleared that up. That the person that they were looking for originally was the Maiden, but Raven didn't actually say it, but Yang didn't need to hear it from her. Her eyes told the whole story. Raven actually murdered this person, but said it was a mercy killing, that she was going to be chased out for her entire life. She couldn't hang with the group. She wasn't strong enough. She was scared. She would have been chased. So she killed him. This is a mercy killing. My book, Raven's, a villain, like, thick in between. She just does what she thinks is the best interest for herself. Um, she claims it was a mercy killing, but, I mean, let's face it. She did it, for her tribe, okay? So she wouldn't have to, you know, hide her, within the group. So she took the powers for herself, which makes her a villain, in my opinion. Um, Yang basically tells her, you have to allow me to get the relic, you know, and she basically says because Salem's going to be going after you, and it's something that you can't have. And Raven cries, while Yang's about to go in there. And then next thing you know, when Yang turns around, Raven is a Raven and is out of there within a flash. Then Yang goes into the desert room or whatever. I don't know why for a Spring Maiden relic that the relic would be in a desert. Wouldn't it be in like a flower room or something like that? Since it's a spring. Um, she goes in there and gets the relic basically. After she gets the relic, she starts to cry. So, you know, there's that as well. Meanwhile, back inside of the Haven Academy, you got Ruby and Weiss fighting, as well as Nora and Ren. They're all fighting off, you know, Mercury, Emerald, and Big Dude with the muscular arms thing or whatever there. And they're fighting them off. Muscle Guy just basically, takes out the Weiss's ice bee bug thing with ease. And then they continue fighting. And then Blake comes in, Sun comes in, they help out. There's kind of a moment there with Sun and Blake, but overall, they kind of help. They kind of help out even the odds, which was good. Osmond, is fighting, and then while this is going on, you cut to a scene with or not Salem, freaking Lion-O in his office. He runs to his office basically, and then you got Salem with her crystal ball with rope red spike things or whatever, confronting him about what happened. He says that he blames basically everything on Cinder, like, oh, it's all Cinder's fault, or whatever. Tries to come up with excuses. Frickin' Salem isn't buying it, and then he tries to attack Salem, and then after that, seals fate, because then the spikes, ropes go after him, they drag him, and then off screen, you hear a sound effect, which is him dying, basically. He was choked and then was stabbed to death, and they didn't show it, obviously. But I'm just assuming that's what she did. So yeah, that's what Salem did, and then she was basically like, coward, and that's how that ended. We go back to inside the Haven Academy, and then you see Yang come up from the surface with the relic, and Emerald kind of gets emotional, gets down to both her knees, starts crying. Mercury is like, we got to get out of here, let's go. And then you see a hologram thing of Salem, and that allows the three to get away from the RWBY and the rest of the heroes. And there you see them, running away. There's also a scene where, Blake's parents, like, are shown with Blake and Son, and they, talk about how they need to regroup the Vonuses and stuff like that. Um, there was also a thing before the battle when Blake did come into the, to help out Weiss and Ruby. That she had also said, Weiss thought, aren't you like the quiet one or something? And she said, not today, you know. So she was helping out too. That was, of course, before they left. The villains left. Then you had this moment where the Ruby gang, they kind of hug, because they're all back together. You see John and Nora and Ren. They're kind of like next to each other, side by side, because they're reunited. And yeah, everyone's basically reunited. It's kind of a little happy way to end the season. They also, I should also mention, Yang did give the relic to Crow, and Osmond, who is now Oscar at this point, was all beat up or whatever, not ready to pass out. But before he, goes passing out, he tells Crow, "We need to go see Atlas. We have to go to Atlas, which is the military country where Winter is," which would support my possible theory on Winter being the Winter Maiden, because I do believe the Winter Maiden would be the next maiden that would be revealed, and Winter is in that country. So it would make sense if that was the case, but Rooster Teeth has given us surprises in this season, so I wouldn't put it past them to surprise us again in the next season. So we'll see. But yeah, they hug it out, and that's kind of how it ends, really. Just kind of them, being happy that they're all together. We get the credits. After the credits, we have a brief scene where you see Yang's father, back at Yang and Ruby's house, and we see basically a feather, a raven feather, appear, and Yang's father kind of looks at it for about a couple seconds, and then that's it. Overall, in terms of the episode, and that's the end of it. Overall, in terms of the episode, the ending, I was kind of a little upset about. The ending really kind of didn't signify anything for the next season, really. It was just kind of a little Raven just, letting her know that she's still there or whatever, I guess. That didn't really tell us anything about what's going to happen in the next season, or like a hint of something that's going to happen in the next season. As we move along, maybe something in Atlas, or, something, give us something, and we didn't get anything, so I was kind of a little disappointed about that. But like I said, they're going to go to Atlas, which, again, I think that makes perfect sense for possibly Winter being the Maiden, because, think about it, Weiss just learned how to master her powers that Winter had been training her for, as we've seen in, the preview thing or whatever that they did before the season. And we could possibly see, now Winter in the next season being revealed as the Winter Maiden. It's very high possibility, because we're going to definitely be seeing Winter in the next season, for sure. So we'll see where, that all develops, and what's going to go on with Raven here now that we know that she's the Spring Maiden. I'm not sure if Salem knows yet that she's the Spring Maiden or not. Yang knows, and Cinder knows. Now, we don't know if Cinder is dead. I'm assuming she's alive because we didn't get any mention of the fact that she is, in fact, dead. So, I even though, someone pointed out to me about the music, about Cinder dying, it was actually, you're gonna die or whatever and stuff like that. I just think that was kind of just put in there just to kind of, fool us all, really. Because, if she would have died, the Maiden powers would have gone to someone immediately, just like how we seen how Amber's powers immediately went to Cinder. So the fact that they didn't show it, tells me that she's alive. I mean, she's frozen, and in cartoon anime fiction, you can get away with someone being frozen and then be defrosted and still alive. Aang did it for 100 years, so they could still use that type of logic. So I don't think Cinder's dead. That's what I'm basically trying to get into the story here. At least at this time. I'm hoping Neil will be in the next season, by the way. That was my biggest disappointment because she's been confirmed to be alive, but she didn't appear in the season when, they said she was going to be in this season. So I don't know what's going on with that. A little bummed about that. But overall, I thought this was a really good season. It was 100 times better than Volume 4, for sure. A lot of surprises that surprised me. A lot of other things that happened that were really interesting. But that's really about it. Let me know what you guys think about this season as well as this episode. What did you guys like about this episode? What do you guys like about the season? What do you guys think about everything and how everything transpired? If you like this video, please give me a like, a thumbs up, comment, rate. If you like this video and my other videos, please subscribe. Always helpful. All my, Volume 4 and Volume 5 for this season, episode reviews will be in the description for the playlist. My playlist link will be in the description, so you can check all those out for all my reviews that I've ever done for anime. And as well as last week's episode. Link will be in the description box as well. And you can also check out my theory, too, I did. The Maiden theory I did. So that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.